Hi, everyone. This is Josh Hoffman, and welcome to another episode of Masters in Marketing Agency podcast. Today, I have Hamsah Ahmed. Hamsah runs a marketing agency that focuses on influencers, small businesses, and nonprofits. Welcome, Hamsah.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me in your show.
Of course, and I'd like to jump right into it. And I just want to have you kind of tell us a little bit more about your agency and why you started with small businesses and nonprofits.
Let me take you kind of like a background, kind of where I am right now is so my parents actually my uncle and my dad long time ago for almost 5 6 years had they wanted to open a nonprofit organization in Sacramento. This is where I'm located. So they started a nonprofit organization where they want to do like a community for like Muslims, minorities, and everybody kind of goes there. So this is my dad actually studied also marketing, so I was literally kind of steal his books and like keep reading about them like when I was like 14, 15. And then I was like, okay, this is cool. I want to be part of it. And then I started going to college and I was like, okay, college is something for me, but I don't want to finish it right now. And then this is when I started learning a little bit more about nonprofit and how much small business and nonprofit in the market right now. They don't have the ability to like be famous or known or getting enough audience just because they don't have the financial, because they would rather put the extra money in whatever they're able to provide for their nonprofit. They wouldn't want to put it for something that they'd be like, okay, whatever, if someone comes in, someone comes in. So this is when I was like, I know the big businesses don't need me. They don't need marketing. They already have their team. The department is ready to go. But then for me, I was like, I want to be part of it because I struggled with my parents' community. They would hire volunteers, but the volunteers, they would come a few days, but then the next day be like, oh, I'm sick, I'm not coming in. Or you cannot hold them accountable as enough because again, they're volunteers. But then when you have someone like a full time or whatever, it gives you a peace of mind of, okay, like that person will take care of it. So I wanted to be that person for those small businesses and nonprofit mostly because I was like, they needed that extra boost. I'm not going to ask for much. I just want to work with you. I want to get your name out there. And having that feel of you're being contributing in something that meaningful was, for me, that was it. Like, that was just something I would wake up every morning, just want to do is like that nonprofit has a huge idea. It's a nice idea. I want to be part of it, whether how or why, I just want to become part of it. So that was the reason why I wanted to work with that type of field.
How did you get into like digital marketing specifically?
So I started the business like right before COVID. So I was like, I'm just gonna be home and do it and just kind of like run it through it, open a business, worked with few locals, nonprofits that I worked with. One of them were my family, and then others were like, supporting orphans and supporting like, kids that don't have like the families that they were just unfortunate they don't have enough. And then I started just small here and there, but then I started getting clients from like Egypt. I started getting clients from Canada. I started getting clients. I was like, okay, I was not ready for this. So I had to like, to pay back taxes. I had to create a business and I had to create all of that. But then I was like, I wanted to become a digital marketing because it's just easier. And this is what I'm like, this is what I feel those businesses need mostly is that social media aspect of like posting, creating the content, creating the hashtags, creating all of those ideas. And not everybody's aware of those. Like for us, like, oh, I'm just gonna take a picture, I'm gonna post it and like let it be. But there's so much into this. There's like the behind scenes portion, which like, okay, that post worked well, that post did not work well. So I was just so fascinated with this whole concept of like, we think that one post is just a post, like whatever, but it really runs through like you take weeks to kind of analyze the analytics and like know what's working and what's not working. And with the TikTok coming up and all of those kind of new things, you're gonna have to go with the pace because digital life is the future. There's nobody uses newspapers anymore. There's nobody like go like, oh, let me go pick up my newspaper from my local store and just see what's going on. Everybody's on their phones or laptop or iPads. So was just kind of like what works for me and for the future as well.
You mentioned like a post not working or working. How do you measure that? Like, what tools do you use? What data do you use?
So there's few options here. Of course, it depends on the pay and the client you're working with. But the first thing that you have the analytics on, like the Facebook and the Instagram, you kind of just read through them. This is kind of like day to day basis. And then there's like Google Analytics where you have your page on there. You kind of read how many people running. You have Yelp Analytics. So you have all of those analytics. You kind of have to put them into pieces where, okay, that Yelp is accepting those type of posts, but Facebook is just kind of like, nah, I don't like this. It's not making enough views. So that was just kind of like, it's a study. Like, you have to sit there and literally go through all the platforms that your client working with, and then also know what your client wants, because like your client will be like, okay, I like this analytics, I'm fine for 4 or 5 views, but I want to start posting only those kind of concepts. So like, you have a whole struggle, you're trying to explain something that your client is not fully understanding. So it was a whole proves to show like, okay, we have to do it this way because that's what's working.
Interesting. And going back to what you said earlier, you mentioned you had a few customers in different countries. How did you get your first customer, and how are you getting customers in different countries?
To be honest, I don't know. It was just kind of my name went out there. I think like, with because I knew how to use social media. So I'm Arab myself. So I had like Arab people on my own Instagram, my own Facebook. So I would keep posting about my business, like, hey, I'm doing this, like just sharing with people my TikToks and all of that. And then one person like, oh, hey, I have that friend that like wants to work with a nonprofit, but like they just like working with you. I was like, okay, cool. Like, just send them over. And then we started having a contract base. But the only problem with that is their mornings is my night, and my night is their morning. So our submission was very hectic, because like when I posted it to them or I submitted to them, I had to like literally change my whole laptop settings on Egyptian timing because it will be posted in the right time. So it was hectic, but it was so fun because I got to explore a different type of nonprofits. And reaching out to them was, I reached that one in UK, actually in London, that I'm working with right now. Is there are a small business, they're kind of model agency, they're trying to get the youth hype and everything, and I'm trying to like have the same office for them here. So it's funny because we try to do like Zoom meetings. I would have to wake up at 7 in the morning in order to catch them before they start leaving work. But it was having that idea again, it goes back to nonprofit and small business, the feel of people loving each other and people actually caring about each other was just so important for me than working in a corporate, working with already high end marketing agencies that they don't care about who I am, they just want their work done. But me working with the small business and nonprofits, that was just the huge part of me. And truly, when you work with them, you were like, okay, you're family, like we care about each other at this point. I want to do better, not because you're paying me extra, it's for like, I just want to do it for you.
Yeah, and I want to like double click on the difference that you see between small businesses and nonprofits, and maybe again like larger companies or for-profit companies. Is there anything else that you kind of see as like the biggest difference between working with those two types of companies?
With which groups? The small and none,
Yeah,
or like?
yeah, like either small businesses and or nonprofits relative to like the larger companies. Like, what's the difference that you see there?
So so there's big differences. So from nonprofit to small business, the nonprofit completely don't know what they're doing. They're too focused on like the right cause, or they're just very ambition about what the whole point of the nonprofit. Like if they're orphanage, they just care about the orphanage cases. They don't know anything else. But then the small businesses, they are involved. They'd be like, okay, I want this product. They would tell you. It was easier for me working with small businesses because there was guideline, but with a nonprofit, it's literally like giving you like a whole plate and you have to figure out what you're doing with it. That's literally how the difference between them. Small business was more a little bit on like a path where like, okay, I want by the end of this month, I want how many clients or how many people buying my products or whatever it is. With a corporate or like big ends ones, they already have a system. It just, they're blocking you in basically. Just they want an extra hand in there, but you're technically following what people before you or after you're doing. So I didn't like that. I didn't like to be like just like filling the gap. I like to like, I want to do the gap and then I fill it myself. So that was just the difference between them for sure.
And is there anything that you have like really seen in the past few years, especially during the pandemic or after the pandemic, that you've seen change like in the marketing field within small businesses and nonprofit?
For sure. Before when I was working with them, like 2017, I would say till like beginning of 2020, they were mostly using like posts and like actual writing posts and like picture posts. It would depend on the profile you're using. But then the thing is now everybody's using TikTok, everybody's using influencers, and this is when I started have to like get a networking with influencers, because every single small business will come to me and be like, hey, do you have any contact with influencers or, generator creators or all of that? I'm like, no. They were like, oh, okay, we don't want to work that. I'm like, okay, because they didn't want this post anymore. They literally wanted to for me to get your product, give it to the influencer, and contact with her about her prices and all of that, and then go back to the company and be like, okay, this is what they want to get paid for, and blah blah blah. And this is how many posts they're gonna post. This is just the future at this point. Is like that, UGCs and influencers and all of the aspects are the future of everybody. Don't care about posting on their own Instagram anymore. They want other people to post it for them, and then they kind of repost it again. This is technically what I had to like change few things, because even nonprofits are doing that. They would reach to like a high end person or someone that has a lot of followers and be like, hey, do you mind coming in the nonprofit, office and just do a whole, story about it, or just share your feedback about it. And truly, this has jumped people followers and money to like almost 50% higher. And having seen that change of everybody kind of uniting for one reason was, I truly liked it, because I feel other people be like, okay, but like you're getting other, or I mean, I don't care. It just feels like every single person, I know they want to get paid at the end of the day. Maybe they don't care about the nonprofit. Maybe they don't care about the product, but at the end of the day, they're doing this. I don't know. I like how the concept is going. Not everybody's in favor of it, but this is the future. Influencers and UGC's marketing is what's coming up.
And going more into the influencer stuff, what have you seen work and not work, or is there any like best practices, or if you can kind of just talk about what you've seen working with influencer?
Yeah, so it's really a little tough with the market right now, because so there's two groups at this moment. Influencers has been around since almost 2013, since Instagram started, and then UGC's only started this year. So UGCs are user generated content. So basically, you don't have to have followers to be in part of it. You just create the content for you. For example, you need content for your own business. I will just take pictures and will send it to you, and you use it the way you want. But then influencers aspects are more like, I will post it on my end. I will take the effort and like knowing and educating people on what's this product about. But as a UGC, you don't care. You're just gonna take a picture. Here, it looks nice, cool. Pay me, take it, use it your way. So what I feel is working and not working is people not understanding or not jumping on what is UGC quite yet. Everybody's still going with influencers, but you know how many influencers out there? There's a lot of them. There's a lot of influencers out there, and everybody's jumping on, oh, I want to become an influencer. I want to become influencers. I'm like, cool, you want to become an influencers, but it's becoming a very huge route for you to even be known. People already have their contracts with like someone for literally the past 3 years or 10 years. So having that, it's becoming a little bit struggle, because if you don't have enough followers as an influencer, you're struggling, because when you do a contract with nonprofit or a social media or a small business, you have to show them that you're working, that your followers are coming to you. So if you're an influencer or you're a UGC and you're not giving them at the end of the month, where's the numbers, and the numbers are not met, this is when the issue becomes, because not enough people are educated enough on those two aspects. Even the small businesses are not. They were like, okay, cool, I'm gonna send you my product, please do it, whatever. But they actually don't understand what is the behind the scenes of that. And the influencers are just excited to get the product for free, and they're gonna market it for 48 hours maximum, and after that they will get paid while sleeping. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you also need to understand that when you jump onto a business and tell them, hey, I'm gonna help you, it's a commitment. It can't be like, oh, because I have 50,000 followers, you can't promise me that 50,000 followers are gonna buy my products. And influencers and UGCs have to understand that. And I feel like small businesses and nonprofit don't yet jump on that. I feel like different from the big corporates already, because they are very aware of they're jumping, they're faster, they're more ahead. Small business and nonprofit, they don't also understand. Like a nonprofit doesn't know what exactly they want, so they were just randomly asking influencer or UGC to do something, but is it going to help you or not? This is the hard part. And this is where I come in of like, okay, you want to do that contract with this influencer, but truly has nothing to do with you. Like this influencer is famous, but it's not about how many followers. It's about how many followers that actually listen to her or actually follows what she does. So it's not about the numbers anymore. It's about like who is loyal and who's not, basically.
Are you able to hire influencers like if you're on a tight budget?
It's, so if you're a product sale or you have a retail or if whatever, you can give them gifts. So let's say you sell like a jewelry, you give them a free jewelry and maybe extra, I don't know, like $100, $200. If you are a nonprofit, is nonprofits struggle with this field a little bit just because not everybody is capable of doing it for free. They'd be like, okay, I will come and drive for you, but what are you giving me back? Maybe a little bit more extra followers from their end, maybe a little bit more famous, like, oh, this person is nice and he's doing that nonprofit. But not influencers don't really support those ideas of a free product again because the industry is huge now. UGCs, the only thing is that we like free products and we're literally doing it from home. So I will be sitting on my couch and I will do a quick story and I'll be like, okay, please go follow this profit or whatever. And I'll send you the video and you take care of it. I don't have nothing to do with it. I don't care about analytics. I don't care about anything. You post it, you pass it or not pass it. This is not my problem. It's become yours now. I'm just a creator. So I feel like nonprofits have to focus on UGCs and small businesses focus on both.
Oh, awesome. You might have just answered my next question right there, but are you able to talk through like why you would use an influencer versus a UGC strategy, or do you use both? Like, can you just kind of talk through that?
So nonprofits, again, it goes back to the point that they're not able to afford influencers, especially influencers. Prices are literally a full paycheck, like double the paycheck now. They're like $10,000 just for one thing. They're expensive, and as a nonprofit, you don't want to put that money in. But then, and also, you're not gonna provide them service because you're a nonprofit. There's nothing you're gonna give them. So the difference is usually season influencers, there are two different groups, two different audience, two different tasks that they're gonna need to do. An influencer, that means she is gonna be taking care of the analytics. She is gonna take care of making sure you're getting your followers. She is gonna come to your office or she's gonna come to wherever you are, and then she will make the pictures for you, and she will take care of all this like campaign basically. As a UGC, you are a nonprofit. You're gonna reach out to me like, hey Hamsah, like I am a nonprofit. This is what I do. I'm an orphanage supporter, whatever it is. You're going to tell me the whole story. What I will do, I'll open my phone, open my video, and I'll be like, hey guys, thank you for following whatever, whatever. This is nonprofit. It's amazing. I heard about them and I want to become part of it. Am I going to post on my Instagram or Facebook? No, I'm not. I'm going to download it. I'll email it to you and be like, good, cool, thank you, pay me. We're done. Even if you don't want to pay me, you will go ahead and post on your Instagram or your Facebook, whatever nonprofit organization you have platform, and I will get the followers from your end, not you getting the followers from me. But influencers, you get the followers from me, not from you. So if you're a nonprofit, I recommend hitting on the UGCs and try to reach out to them. If you're a small business, go out for both, but it depends on your budget. If you're looking for something a little cheaper, a little bit like affordable side, go to UGCs. If you're high end and you have the money, influencers for sure.
That was great. Before we kind of get off the influencer and the UGC topic, is there anything else that you think is worth adding?
Not really. No, I feel like people need to just get a little bit more educated and not feeling scared of hitting all of those aspects. I feel like we just got used to social media platform, but truly, like social media is even becoming less and less usable at this point. People just want to see real faces, and this is when the influencers and UGCs are the real faces for you. Because not every business is gonna like as you're not gonna go on your Instagram and be like, oh, this is me, let me wear my shirt, oh, let me hold my cup, let me do this. You're not going to do that. So you need real faces, because when there's no identity to your business, you're going to have hard time people trusting you. And I feel identity is way more important than anything else. Whether you're a nonprofit, whether you're small business, you need to have an identity and you need to have a face for people to trust.
That was perfect. To take a quick left turn, if you had to teach something to other marketers, especially new marketers, what do you think it would be?
Slow down. Out of experience, I was just with how many people are, marketing, social media, and all of that. I feel that, the peer pressure, but that was work pressure of like, oh, I want to work with this. I want to work with this. Trust me, you will have a lot of clients and you're working solo or you're working with like other two people. And having that, like, oh, I want to be like that person or that person. Trust me, like they had to go through a lot in order to reach where they at. But for us, we only see like the outside. We don't see the inside, and people. This is how I feel for it. At the beginning of the first year, I had like almost 10 clients, and I was literally hardly getting sleep because I had to submit the task I signed up for. I paid and I got paid for it. I gotta have to do it. You have to slow down. It's not a competition. If you are gonna get your client, you are gonna get your client. You just have to be unique. I feel everybody becoming, oh, I know social media, let me open a marketing agency. Okay, cool, but like social media is not that easy. People always look at marketing and social media like, oh, it's nothing. Trust me, if you don't have marketing social media, your business is not going to go up high. Okay, so we just have to slow down a little bit of understanding and there's not competition in that field at all.
Awesome. And then coming to the end here, this can be either on topic, marketing related, or it can be off topic. What do you enjoy talking about the most that you normally don't get an opportunity to really talk about?
Oh my gosh, I can be talking about marketing because, okay, so here's the thing. As an Arab, my parents look at social media marketing like they happens through my whole no sleep vibes, but they were like, "What are you doing? Like, what is exactly you're doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Do you see the post on Instagram? That's me. I did it." And they're like, "Okay, but like, okay, and like what?" And then I feel like I can sit there and explain to people marketing and social media is big deal. Okay, guys, like it's not that easy. It's not like I'm gonna post and go back to sleep, but cool, let's do it. There's so much into that. And I feel like not everybody can understand this. And people, again, I feel like it's just education. Like, if you're not a doctor or a nurse in my community, you're like, what are you doing? Like, are you okay? Do you need some money? I'm like, I'm doing just fine. Okay, I'm probably doing more than you are doing right now. So, no. But the thing is, it's just people need to be educated a little bit more on not just like, oh, you have a business. Be also, as a business owner, I also have to educate myself what's working for me and what's not working. Education doesn't stop on like, oh, I open a business, I have that person helping me out. Cool, let's just do it. No, you also have to reaching out. You have to be okay for you to ask for help. Especially marketing grow really fast. Social media grows really fast. Like Instagram for the past 6 months, I've been hunting this app because they change their hashtags every single day. They wake up in the morning and be like, I'm gonna change the hashtag. And then I have to like for a client to be like, okay, but this hashtag is not working. I was like, I know it's not working because Instagram changed it. And then I have to find another reason. They stopped using hashtags and now they're using hashtags again. And 3 months ago, hashtags was not important. Now everybody be like, hashtag is important. Please use hashtags. I'm like, you guys, I literally just stopped using hashtags 3 months ago and now I have to use them again. So it is a very, very, very fast pace, like very fast pace. And you're not catching on, you're not going to do well. You have to do it, even if it's going to sometimes be a pain. Just do it. You're going to have to jump on it before it's too late.
And you mentioned like education. Are you a reader at all?
Oh, I read a lot of books. I
Perfect.
read books. I have a lot of books.
Then I'll try to keep this answer a little bit short, although honestly, run with it if you want to. Is there any books that you would recommend? One, on topic, so like on marketing, digital marketing, everything like that, and then any books that you recommend not that has nothing to do with marketing.
Oh my gosh, here's one thing you need to know about me. I'm terrible, terrible at names. Like, I am the worst person that will say, and my fiance, I had a hard time remembering his name the first 6 months, okay? This is how bad it is. I have learned dementia with names. I don't know the names as much. The one book that I liked, not for marketing though, I don't remember the one that for marketing was really good. I have to like probably I'll just text it to you after or something. But that one book was really good because it wasn't actually talking about like marketing of like, oh, please do this or plus one plus equal two. It's more like you need to understand the psychology of the marketing. There's a lot of psychology in marketing, industry, because you need to understand what your client wants, what your audience wants, and then play on their needs, basically. So if you need a football because you're going to a football tomorrow, then you're probably gonna go on Amazon and be like, oh, football ball, whatever. And then this is the all algorithms where it kicks in because people freak out. It's so funny. Actually, I'll tell you a story. Algorithms throw people off, and I tell my mom will be like, oh, they're hearing us through the phone. I'm like, there's nobody hearing us through the phone. It's all about algorithms because Amazon is connected to Instagram, connected to Facebook, connected to every single Google is connected to all of those platforms. And this is how I learned it from that book. Is there's nothing, no FBI listening to us or anything. It's algorithms. Is the one word you're gonna use will kick into all of those portfolios and all of those profiles, and then it will kick in on your Instagram and be like, oh my gosh, they're listening to us. They're having. I'm like, no, literally, it's all about algorithms. So that book was really good. It just kind of like cleared out the air of the psychology aspect in marketing. And then one book is the one that Not Give an F or something like that. How to Learn of Not Giving an F. I don't know if you heard about that book before. No, it's really good.
The Art of Not Giving a Fuck? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one, yes. See, I told you I don't know names, but yeah, I just remember that.
That one, yeah.
Exactly. So that one, I'm an overthinker myself. I overthink about literally the smallest thing. Like if you took a weird breath, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I said something wrong. So that book taught me a little bit more to let go of like having to be a perfect, like, okay, you want to be perfect is fine, but don't let it take over you. And I feel like as marketing and social media, when we don't get the analytics we're hoping for, we go in depression mode. I'll be like, okay, I failed it. I did not do well this month. I didn't get enough views. I didn't get enough this, what I'm going to do. And you just start getting into that, your own head. So that book was helping me while I was working is like, it's not about the analytics. You need to like just study it, understand it, and then this is how you will be better next month. So those two books for sure helped me out to calm down a little bit with everything, with working and life and everything, for sure.
And as we come up to the end of the episode, I just want to give you an opportunity to kind of mention how people can find you and anything else you'd like to end with.
Just write Hamsah Aziz on Google. You will get all the LinkedIn. You're gonna get my page in there. You're gonna get my TikTok. You're gonna get my Instagram, my Twitter.
Am I spelling that for everyone?
Yeah, it's HAMSAH space AZEEZ. So put that in Google. You will get a girl with a hijab. That's me. So just go there, reach out to me. You have my Twitter, you have my LinkedIn. I have a link tree, and I have a website for the UGC portfolios and all the social media and all of that. So just hit me up. And it was glad to be with you, Josh. It was really an honor to be here and talk to all of your followers.
And thank you so much for coming on the show. And I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for listening to the Masters in Marketing Agency podcast. I hope you got a ton of value out of this episode. And before we go, I just want to thank our sponsors, DevNoodle. DevNoodle provides marketing agencies with the ability to offer their clients unlimited website design, build, and management services with fixed monthly plans. If website design, development, and maintenance is holding your agency back from growing, please reach out to us at devnoodle.com, where we make websites easy for you and easy for your clients. devnoodle.com.